Today on the Blackout Build channel, we get to play a game we haven't played in a long time. What is wrong with the motor? Motor, as y'all saw, runs pretty well. Let's play the guessing game what y'all think is wrong. We can get the one guy in the comments that goes fuel pump, because everybody thinks it's always the fuel pump. I'm not saying that's not it, but I have my suspicions. I hope that's not it. So, down below, what do you think it is? Fuel, spark, combustion, compression, water. Here's the symptoms. Starts, runs, idles. Doesn't like the cold start. Might be a separate issue. I think it's a separate issue. First day on the water, guessing 3,000 RPMs. Top speed 25 miles an hour. Second day on the water, 1A throttle, flying, boom, like a bat out of hell. Thing runs great. As we're riding, feels like we lose a cylinder, feels like we lost something. Max speed goes down, 25 miles an hour. Again, you can just tell we're not going as fast. Again, don't know the RPMs, don't have attack. So, the only other clue I can give you is, and I don't know yet, we're gonna do this right now, together. The only other clue I can give you is I was in reverse, and as I'm going in reverse, it kind of, you heard something kick back in. So it was like a cylinder decided to fire and then stopped. Twice. It was like, so, that being said, put your comments below. I can't wait to see who's right. Hopefully we'll find it out. I was originally guessing, I think I'm going to stick with this guess. It was that reverse thing that made me want to switch my guess. I'm thinking high-speed jets are clogged because it won't cold start. So there's got to be gunk somewhere in that primer system / CARB, and it's the one thing I haven't really looked at. Now, I haven't looked at spark either yet. So this thing might have a bad timer base. It could be getting warm and then losing spark. It could be just, it could not have spark in general. I have not tested for spark yet. So it could be a bad coil pack, obviously. Could be anything spark related, could be anything carb related, fuel related, could be fuel pump. Could be tank, could be bulb, could be venting of the tank, could be all of that stuff. So put your guesses. My money's on dirty carbs. Let's start with a spark check. I don't have to check compression. If you put compression on the bottom, you're wrong. We check compression. Top left, 110. Bottom left was 112. This cylinder was 111, and then one of them was like 109. Not necessarily in that order, something like that. They're all in the 110s, which is phenomenal for this year. Watched other videos about compression. People are saying if it's under 90, it's a bad motor. That just cracks me up. I've seen these motors run perfect with 80. I've had a motor that ran great with 70 compression. Anyway, let's dive into a spark check, which should be relatively easy enough. I guess we'll just pop the old spark checker on it. Not that I can see anything right now. Let's go get that. Before I get into the spark check, actually, I did want to see if we could see what was going on with this spark plugs itself. See if we can tell what's going on, what's wrong with the spark plugs. So let's get the spark plugs off before I spark check. So this is where y'all can tell me what the hell is wrong and right. I already see a problem. Now, here we go. Here's our plugs. Obviously, we got port side, and we got starboard side of engine, driver side, passenger side. And I see 3 oily black plugs, and I see 1 very shiny plug. So if I was to guess, y'all probably tell me, it seems like the top plug is not firing. You guys do this, I don't know if this helps or not. Seems like one plug is not like the other. Right? That's definite. I mean, that's definite. Now, what does that mean? Is water getting in that cylinder? It was running nice and cold, but that's probably because it wasn't firing. But I definitely think we can narrow it down to top left, top port cylinder issue. Why would one cylinder fire and the other 4 not? Is the question. But we can spark check that and see if it's a coil problem and or usually if a power pack goes, they both go. Don't quote me on that one. It's also the cylinder I put a brand new spark plug wire on because that wire was shot. So let's dive deeper. All right, let's see. I don't see spark. Not even a little bit. That one's sparking. I don't know if you guys can see it, I couldn't. All right, I'm gonna check the rest of them. Okay, we'll get you in for this one. I have not checked this one yet. We're doing this together. I already found one problem. It could be an issue, could not be. We'll figure that out in a minute. Together, but I'm just poking around and I happen to see something. Try to get you. I can barely see the sparks, so you guys tell me if you can see it. Shout at your TVs. Computers, phones. Shout. I hear spark, I don't see it. I see it, but not where I want it. It's not sparking in this current cylinder yet. I also have the gap really far, which is fine. You really want a big wide gap. If it doesn't spark gap a certain distance, then it's a shit spark. The spark tester is not ideal. This is damn right the dumbest fucking thing ever. Let's wire it long enough. Nothing. Is this shit I gotta fight with? I'm gonna try. I'm doing right now. Yes. I don't think I'm sparking on this cylinder at all. But this could be this tester. Let me check this bottom one again. I think this side overall is an issue. I'm just curious. Okay, that would be that. What? I have a trigger, a special tool. Start. There's no fuel in it, which is so stupid, but you give something spark and compression. None of the wires are hooked up, except for one. It's trying to run on one cylinder, which is amazing. So now that I can't get it to spark, no, I don't want the motor to start right now, Matthew. We're trying to figure out what's wrong with it. If I need your help, I will say, do this, please. Spark. So this one started sparking. So it wants to run on this cylinder. I should have said to myself, if it's trying to fire, it's trying to fire on one cylinder only. But the other wires are close to it, so who knows if sparks jump in there. So we got spark in this one. I still don't know if I have spark in that top one. So we got arcing. We got arcing between this coil and the block, which means, I don't know what that means. I either got a bad ground or the coil's got a crack in it. So this side needs attention, love and attention. This is what I saw in poking around. Someone was in here, don't know who it was. We're missing a screw. Now, coincidentally, whatever screw went in there is also a ground. So maybe someone was trying to diagnose the no spark issue and got close but couldn't figure it out. So that being said, now we need to find out if this coil pack is any good. It's blue like the other one, so I'm assuming original 2 motor, and then we gotta mess with that coil. So first things first, we swap coils. Let's isolate the problem. We'll swap coils and see if the spark issue follows. What's this now? That's grease, dielectric grease of my own cord. All right, spark tech, check, flip the coils, test number 1. Yes, we have spark in the bottom, which is a good thing. So that means the coil, no, that means the coil on the top. Yeah, that means the coil on the top was not the problem. All right. So it didn't follow it. So there should have been no spark in the cylinder. Let's see if the cylinder sparks now. If it sparks now, I got no answers for nothing. Yeah, I know. That's on purpose. All right. Nothing's in the way. Just watch your hands. Don't put nothing near the motor. No spark. I hear more arcing. Don't know from where. Let's take this off. Ooh, did I just crack the damn coil? I did. I bet you I did. You got it. No, it's just a sticky mess. Okay. Oh, okay. Top coil is arcing too long. No spark. All right, well, I take it back. I don't know if it was the spark tester or what. Clear spark now. So there's spark in the cylinder. So it's not the coil pack, thank God. This isn't very good. So the insulation within the coil pack itself is no good. That does not mean that we're running on the water and it's getting hot and not bowing out on the water, because it did. Like I said, for 5 seconds it was running beautifully. So this coil pack alone should be replaced. I'll see if I have anything downstairs. But we do have spark on all 4 cylinders as of right now. I really need to duplicate this test on the water. I also need to get rid of this spark tester. Strong spark on this one too. So I can't see the spark tester, but we got spark. We got spark on all 4 as of right now. Let me find a bolt for this power pack, and then God, I don't know. I might as well just take the carbs off anyway. Like, what am I? I don't want to take the carbs apart. I really don't. I've done it a million times. Not in this motor. I just don't want to do it, because the fuel pump I'm worried is bad too. I'm worried there might be a tear in the diaphragm. I wish I was in the water right now. I just run it and go to see if the spark was the issue. I wish I never used that stupid tester to begin with. Now, I know 99% of you said this, but I think Daddy was right. Let's see what we got here. I didn't even get the carbs off yet. What do y'all see? What do you see? I mean, I don't know if that's the high-speed surface orifices or not, but that is gunk. Green gunk. So, I'm actually hoping the bottom of that bowl is dirty as hell. Wouldn't 100% explain why it cut out completely, although it would. So, if it's gunky, I could see it performing the way it did, to just kind of let loose like it did for 5 seconds. Doesn't make any sense, but you know, if there's other stuff in there, it gets re-gunked. Long story short, carbs are almost off. I didn't see anything else out of the ordinary except for this piece has got a lot of schmutz here. I have not blown through that top nipple yet to see if that was clogged, because again, the cold primer start would not work. The hose that came off it was clear. I did blow through that. So let's get these carbs off, see if we find something in the middle. And if you guys were wondering about your Lincoln sink, now's a good time to look at it. You can do this before you pop the cover off. You basically, you know, put it in full throttle and see if the butterflies are level. So, for instance, problem is I took them out of the bracket. So do it while the bracket's on. Although, you know, I guess you don't have to. The cable still worked. And you can see mine are 1000% perpendicular. I would actually wager to say that this bottom one might be a little over revved. Yeah, I can kind of see the top. It should be like this. My pin indicator is also a little forward. Well, that's adjustable. I'll adjust it right now. So to get the carbs off, we're going to have to pop the links out anyway, which will misalign them for now. The linkage cable will just come here. Now they're all separated, we just do with our 4 bolts. I'm going to do this drain bolt. I want you guys to look at it live to see if anything comes out. Top carb I think is clean. Straight fuel came out of that. Rubber O-ring looks okay, I guess. I'm just gonna stick that in before I lose it. Whether the carbs was the problem or not, that I can just see it. You can see how gunky. That bottom carb needs to be cleaned. So let's get these off. It's just 4 nuts. They look like 7/16. Screen in the fuel pump looks pretty clean. I mean, it's damn near spotless. I have no idea if this fuel pump is new or not. It looks relatively new. I do want to kind of replace it just to eliminate it, because if I do all this, the fuel pump ends up having to pay a diaphragm. I'm gonna be mad, so I'll probably just do that. A lot of plastic pieces here. Notorious for breaking plastic parts. Okay. I'm gonna blow through that orifice so there's no clog in that one. Number 2. All the prospective hoses attached. Wow, there's gunk for sure, at least. Yeah, green, white, gooky stuff. Almost looks like that white tube. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't see anything in this orifice here, which is bothering me. Because I really wanted it to be plugged, because I can't figure out why this primer cell node won't work. It feels a little restricted. funny is, not the same. Hoses and me just do not agree. Jesus Christ. Seems pretty unrestricted. Yeah, there's fuel coming out of this. We'll get on the bench and let's figure out. I can see the reeds. I don't believe there's an issue with the reeds. We'll get a light in there to double check. That's another thing. You go on the forums, you say, what's the problem? Someone's always like, check the reeds. The reeds are always fine. 1 out of every 100 are bad. One of the carb nuts fell under this plate here. I gotta get that. If you wanted to do lower unit, now would be a beautiful time to do it. That's a shifter. Because the bolt's right there, easy to get to. If I was to change a water pump, now would be the time. All right, first things first, bottom carb. Oh, come on, gunky bowl. Come on, gunky bowl. Plug feels like it's never been touched with. Who knows? Maybe the float could be stuck. That'd be great. We're looking for problems. If there's nothing wrong, we're not gonna be scared. All right, what do you got? Clean as a whistle, I bet. Oh yeah, spit shine clean. Dang. I mean the jets are dirty. It doesn't mean the jets are clean. There's a jet in there. Gonna get the flashlight and see if we can see light through it. The sun is that way. There's a light going through it. See if you can see this. This is what I'm looking at. I'm trying to get the sun to line up, and if we do, see that? See that light shining through? That means there's nothing blocking it. Not what we want. Yeah, it's okay. This doesn't mean we're dead in the water. Doesn't mean that wasn't not the problem. Float's working. Gasket looks relatively okay. I wonder what that's about. Anybody got it's like a dry jet, like it's dry in here. Got a wet schmutz. Kind of interesting. The float functioning. It's sticky. Although I'm sideways. Nah, it works fine. Doesn't have, it's not the old school spring-loaded one where it pulls down on it, but they work just fine. It's just one of those things. So again, we were looking for problems, and right now we're seeing a very, very clean carburetor, with the exception, again, there was schmutz in there. I haven't really dug into this guy yet. I blew through it, so it is clear. These carburetors are so simple. If anybody's really afraid to take these out, you don't be. It's got the plastic thing, so I'm kind of hoping this was a kit. New kit's gonna come with all of this, even a new float. I did not check to see if the float was level. This has been bent. It's not a factor. It's got the rubber tip. It's pretty good. And the seat looks pretty clear from what I can tell. I'm not seeing the big piece of gunk that I was kind of hoping to see. But in any case, this still has to be sprayed with carburetor cleaner and compressed air. Not spray can air, compressed air. Let's see. The float was level. That would be the only other smoking gun. Your Oak Island Aha. Okay, not great. Again, you guys gotta be level for this. Not great at all. And it was bent prior. It needs to be like that. So, improper level. It's not gonna be why it's not running the way it is, but you know, all these little things maybe add up. I have to take Matthew to baseball now, so this is gonna be waiting on a kit anyway. Question is, do I get new floats? Needle and seats for sure. Be careful with the new aftermarket kits. A lot of the new seats are not properly threaded. So if you feel like it won't go in properly, it's because it ain't going in properly. So do not destroy your old seat. Because you might need it. Now, I got 400 in my basement. And it's kind of sucky to use the old one. But, oh, clean as a, look at it, clean. Right through, you can see that. It's okay. We're not discouraged yet. But those who are pointing to ignition might be right. Could be both. Could be fuel pump still. We don't know. That's bottom carb. Bottom carb is disassembled. Disassembled Johnny 5. I wish I could put B on this thing. Same part number? No, one's a 6, one's a 5. Nope, they're both 6s. 327766. 327766. Sometimes it's not the actual part number, it's just the casting they put on a thing. 1 and 5/16. 1 5/16. Bottom carburetor here is this tab. BCT, bottom carb tab. Thanks for playing. And real quickly, check out the carb that I believe to be cleaner than the other one. Can we interchange bold? I think we can. There's something? No. There is something with a slot, which makes me believe there's a jet. And these are crystal as well. And again, we have an improper float. You know how high that is? It's supposed to be like this. We'll check that spec because I've never seen the floats to be so ingrained into the bowl like this. But again, maybe the levelness is, I mean, it'd be new to me. Now look at this one. See how this one's got 2 with the white? This one was not the same. I don't know. These gaskets are in excellent shape. There was a kit put in this. I'm convinced this was a kit done wrong. So you all tell me, is the float supposed to be level like this? You know? Is that line supposed to be level with the carb, not sideways like the old way? I was always taught to, you know, level with the side, so like this. Which you can't see. Like this. Come on, bleep bloop those comments. I know y'all know better than me. I'm gonna rewatch some of the old Brandon videos myself to see what he says. ChatGPT's becoming in clutch lately. Clean? Can you all see through that? I can. And you know what? Oh, that's just water. Gas. Old gas. Made it look like there was a schmutz. No schmutz. Clean. And I can see through the hole on the top carb quite clearly. Bottom carb, yeah, it is. Not plugged, unfortunately. I don't know. Okay, good. Just wanted to get this before I left. All right, carbs are disassembled. Disassembled Johnny 5. Let's clean them up. Clean them. Depending on what motor or what coil you pick up online, you'll most likely get this guy. For this year, most of them have two. In your ground and your power. One to plug, one to stator. The newer ones just have the one wire that comes out of the coil right to the ground, and then the power lead that goes into your little your boot here now. They come with bullet connectors, which is nice, but you need you could probably figure out, I can't. You need that tool to pull the old ones out and push the new ones in. I'm gonna rock this for now just because it was easy. I ripped the old wires out and just stuck the bullet connectors in the old bullet connectors, which connected and did give me spark. So it is working. It should be fine. I'm gonna put some electrical tape just to keep them separate. This is what we're gonna run to make sure we can get this cylinder to fire. So new coils are in. That's back together. Just waiting on my carb kits, which should arrive tomorrow. We'll pop this baby together, and hopefully Wednesday, Thursday, we'll get this on the floor. Be instant for you. All right, back at the workbench, we're just reassembling the carbs. Kits finally came in the mail. And the only thing I could really find that was wrong with these carbs is the float. I did verify that that is not accurate. I mean, we knew it's supposed to be level, but both of them were up like this, so I don't know. Maybe I just thought older style carb, but same thing. So we got to tilt this one down just a skeech. Okay. Still a little high up there. It looks less level in the video than it does in real life. That was too much. I can just see by the way I bent it. I'm seeing very level. It looks high on the camera, but it's not. Trust me. Oh, look at this. A little crooked. It's definitely crooked. That ain't the camera. I've never had to twist it. Okay, better. That's too much. Okay, I like that. I like that. And I like that. It does look kind of off level. I think gauge might appropriately decide if that's level or not. Overthinking it. It's fine. So, float's good. Just continue putting it back together. All right, important side note. Every single aftermarket carb kit I've ever bought. This is on Amazon. And this was theropshop.com. If you want to scan their QR code, I'm going to give them a prop for selling a pretty decent kit with the gaskets. The gaskets are one of the things that get eaten up if you get the red, orange ones that are real, just terrible with gas. I paid a little bit extra, saved some money. These didn't come with the float, but I saved the money and had to wait for the shipping via Amazon because I wanted to get one that had a decent kit. You can go on marineengine.com or boats.net and spend the $20 or I think it was $27 each, and I needed two. And in that case, you're going to get a new seat. The needle and seat in every single aftermarket kit does not thread into the carburetor. So, Rob Shop, why don't you lead the revolution? There's a bad mold going around for the last, well, since I've started doing this 10 years ago. And every single new needle does not thread into, it stops. And I can cross thread it in there. I ain't gonna. I have not met the aftermarket kit yet that had the right needle. So, seat. Not the needle, the seat. So we're forced to use the original, which is fine. It's clean. It's not gouged. It's just unfortunate. So maybe we can get a revolution going. This is the part number I bought on Amazon. It's a good kit. It comes with everything, but it comes with this crappy frickin' seat. And that's it. These carbs are super simple. There's not much to replace on them except for the 2 gaskets, the needle and seat, the floats, and then the 2 rubber grommets that are on the float bowl drain plugs. Some of these carbs have 2. Some of them have slow speed needle settings here. You'll need a bunch of all this other stuff. This is for the slow speed needles and stuff. A couple more O-rings for whatever else. Welsh plugs, which I typically don't do unless I'm really in a pinch. Those go, God, these don't even have Welch plugs. These got these little lead shot things I've never taken out in my life, so. All right, let's get new carburetors on the motor. Funny side story, if you were doing the lower unit, now's a good time with carbs off. You can really get that center shift bolt out real easily. You don't have to slide your swivel sockets through there. Didn't have my zip ties. They don't come till June 10th. We're not waiting that long. My new favorite tool is this gun thing. Gets the zip ties nice and tight and cuts it. Pretty cool. I saw Brandon's garage using it and I was like, I want that. Because I don't like using zip ties on fuel lines. And for the record, I did order the ones with the curve for hoses, and that's the one I'm waiting for, but I want to get on the water tomorrow, so we can't wait till the 10th. So anyway, so we're hooking up the hoses, put the carbs back on. One hose at a time. That's where we're at. Once I get the carbs hooked up and the fuel system back together, we're going to power this solenoid to see if when I push the key in, does gas actually squirt out this thing. I have a funny feeling it's not, because it has never started cold with 2 new solenoids now. And I don't think this was gummed up, so I don't think there was a clog in any of the fuel system lines. I really don't know what was stopping it. So we're going to diagnose, find out what exactly is the problem. Okay, fuel pump's installed. Regulators installed. This goes to the hood, I think. This goes to my 2 things. So theoretically, if I hook up fuel. So the thought is I gotta ground this out so that we can put action to this. I'm gonna fill everything with fuel, hit the key, and see if fuel squirts out of my 2 nozzles there. If it does, then we can confirm it is going into the carb. I gotta tighten the carbs up, and then we can confirm that it's not the solenoid. Something else is an issue with the cold start. I guess we'll pump the fuel up for now. See if fuel bowls should sit and seat. No leaks as of yet. You can hear the bowls filling. You can see fumes. Oh, I got a fuel leak. Isn't that something? Where? I see it coming. I can't see where it's coming from. Anyway, friggin' bottom one. Zip ties just ain't it, man. Well, the floats are working nice. Forcing the fuel out the bottom. I don't know if I'm gonna tighten that one down. I get the bottom carb. The whole setup's gotta come apart. You guys were wondering if this is fun. Sure. Till bullshit like this happens. And then it ain't fun no more. You're gonna hear it click. The question is, fuel gonna come out of there. All right, battery on. Key on. Click. I hear click. I see no fuel. You guys see fuel coming out? That's the weakest click I've ever heard. My battery. It's clicking, but it ain't fucking. That is terrible. Let's put both batteries together. Well, that's why it won't start cold. Ain't no fuel coming out of that sucker. I had a feeling. It's the second one I bought. It is clicking though. We'll see what happens when I open her up. I bet you feel. Yep. See how fuel comes right out? Because that's what I would do when I was on the water. I would open it up. Fuel is, it's blocking it right now. That's normal running mode, and it would run in normal running mode. But in order to get it to start, I'd have to flip it into manual, start it, and then flip it back, because that's a faulty solenoid. All right, we got to order another primer solenoid. All right, suspicions confirmed. We can hook it up for now and start it just to make sure it runs. Where's my suspicion from the start? You know what I am curious about though? I just want to see. Now, it's not closed all the way. That's why it feels dripping. It's not going to stop dripping, right? We can't run it like that. So this is normal running mode. And the bowls are still full. Check the valves are working. No fuel. This is fuel. That's just excess dripping from whatever else. Now you might say, well, the solenoid's probably good. It's not getting enough power. The click is weak. Maybe the solenoid is. It's a solenoid because it never worked before. You guys want to see it run, right? Oh, what time's it? I gotta go. Got a half hour, just enough time to knock some water up. And let's see our running engine with new carburetors. Old Lincoln sink. So we hooked up my throttle. I don't even know if that's the right orientation. Tried to mess with the start lever. The cables aren't in their right positions. It's hard to manipulate everything with that apparatus off the front. But we've got into a general start mode. It's going to start her up, and we're going to have to put this like this so it starts in general. Just to make sure she runs, and then I want to do a cylinder drop test just to make sure that cylinder's firing. sucked all the fuel out of that. Do that, maybe that'll help. Cold start, man. Nasty. Now where's fuel dripping out of? It's coming out of the carb ball and I will cry. Now our carb balls are full. Little fast start manual lever. Messing with the throttle a little, pulling it back here. It could be a reason, maybe I put it too low. I don't think so. I could have messed with the throttle too much. Yeah. For the sake of experimentation, because I actually have no idea where this thing's supposed to be. I watched 20 videos, just like, seeing the wreck. We'll give it a little more boost. See that? I didn't like it running away on me. I didn't like it sputtering either. Like that. Why is it doing that? Quit it! You want to sputter low idle and then you want to freaking run away on me. This is weird. Oh, because it has throttle? Nah, it's closed. Carb's closed. I'm confused as hell. See what happens now. Sputter start. Got a bad starter switch too, apparently. problems everywhere. The water pump ain't pumping nice. I got fuel leaking everywhere. We pull the carbs off, we redo the whole dang thing. It looks like they're coming out of those freaking lower tubes. So it's probably sucking air there. It's probably sucking air in the middle. I think my carb bowls are dang leaking, which is just insanity. The whole car's gotta come off and the whole thing's gotta be redone. Hey, that's why we test. I have zero luck with zip ties. These were already there, so they don't leak. Every new zip tie I had leaked, so nothing beats a good old-fashioned hose clamp. My problem is screwdrivers never get it tight enough, so you gotta get a socket on these. But I'm gonna use a screwdriver in any case, but this will stop the leaks for sure. All right, we have, I didn't put anything back together, so don't get real excited. I just put the air box on so I could connect one of the air hoses just to eliminate any air leaks. I fixed the fuel leaks on the bottom. Realized I was an idiot trying to pump the primer bulb. I thought maybe both floats were not working right because fuel was dumping out of the carbs. It's because I was playing with the primer solenoid and I left it open. It was squirting fuel everywhere. Anyway, leaks are done. There was zero leaks. Carb floats are working. The cables seem to be set in their original orientations. Let's see if this thing sputters like it did before. I'm on the dock and this thing's cold, I gotta do this, and that will literally, I can actually squeeze fuel in from here, which I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna put it back. That should spray fuel into the carb. That will calm down in the water. I'm 99% sure of it. I'm not exactly happy with the power head, the water pump pressure anymore. That thing used to spurt fast, and now I'm not getting much. I don't think there's anything clogging it. I think I should have undid that shift bolt while I had the carburetors on. Once we do a water test, I think we will do that water pump after tomorrow. I want to get tomorrow out of my system because it seems to be running a lot better. I definitely think I'm firing on that top cylinder. Let's pop that spark plug out and see if it's like the others. We know for sure we're firing on that top one, so let's just pull these two top ones out and see compare them. Might be a little toasty. It's hot. What do we think? I'm seeing very oily soap. You guys can't see nothing. Why didn't you tell me? So good, we can't see jack, bruh. Oily, used, firing. Gas is hitting them, and I know they're sparking. Rich, maybe a little rich, maybe, possibly. It was running away with itself, so we need to address that. But that's that top left cylinder. She is running and sparking. Otherwise it would be dry. I don't know. It looks good, is what I'm saying. I'm just looking over some stuff while it was running away with me. I'm thinking, now it won't push backwards. The throttle will not, like, especially with here, like it just kind of chills. I don't know what's supposed to push it back, unless this has to be adjusted here. So I'm wondering if the carbs are supposed to force. Is this out of whack here? I'm looking at my dowel pins here, and I don't know if the butterflies are 100% closed in this position. It feels like they are, but the pin is right up against. And it says to align it to the scribe mark. I got 3 scribe marks here. That's obviously full throttle, but the first 2, one's got start next to it, the other one's a general scribe. And in this position, this is where the full start is. It is lined up, but it's, you know, this is supposed to be at idle. So if I adjust that screw to touch the plastic stop here, it would be right on the start, right on that scribe mark, really here. So I would have to force that out more, but that would make it rev even higher. So hopefully the back pressure takes care of that. I'm gonna look at the manual again and see if I can figure out, you know, they say to just loosen this screw up here, the carb screw and the carb screw down there, and the plate should throttle closed, and then adjust the roller to that. So I gotta look at it. First mate on the possible ugly duckling. Not bad. Well, I wanted to get you guys a water video. Not much to report. It's doing the same exact thing down a cylinder, but one of my brand new coils broke. The pin on it snapped off. So it's duplicating the same symptoms as last time. So I'm pretty sure we can narrow down the low performance to a spark issue. Being that it's running on 3 cylinders, it's running the same exact way it did prior to the new coil install. Problem is now, see if you guys can diagnose. Pretty simple one on this one. I don't know if you heard that fast rev up, but it's been revving higher and not moving. We're moving, but That's classic spun prop syndrome. So not only did a coil break, my prop spun. Now I need a new prop, and I'm returning that new coil I got. Which is unfortunate, but better on a beautiful day with no chop. And we're still moving, so. Next video, we will get, hopefully, the full actual speed test. This boat's gonna be fun. Just gotta work the kinks out, baby. Having a great day on the water. Took the wife with me this time. We're putting, we're gonna park, have some lunch. Then we'll go get the kids from school.